Stanford University.
So let's do a little bit of practice to kind of ground some of this. And this practice is really about, let's get to our authentic selves, right? You know, this is what I realized, particularly in my mid-20s, when I was really beginning to awaken to spirituality, particularly first through meditation, as I was talking about last night. Like, I began to realize that I was so unwell, but I was so dedicated to this understanding of um, liberation for the community, but I couldn't sustain that liberation work because I was sick. I was depressed. I was fatigued. I was traumatized. So that opened the door to meditation because I just started asking, what else? You know, and that what else really, well, when that door opened, it led me back to myself, and I was like, ah, shit, do I have to do this? Do I actually have to start looking at the ways in which I'm just addicted to things and the ways in which I'm afraid of myself? You know, so this is what we're going to do. And roughly using the the framework of the Radical Dharma 5, um, which isn't in Radical Dharma, but it is in my current book, Love and Rage, as well. So that's there in this book here. So go ahead and get you this prophetic book here. If you want to change your life, you'll get some of this good medicine here. Um, Audiobook is coming out in January, so just in case you're saying, I don't read books anymore, but I got you. I'm taking care of you, you know. Um, and so we're gonna do about 30 minutes of practice. Yeah, 30 minutes. And so let's begin. I don't want you to necessarily change positions or anything. I want you to find yourself in a position um, that's appropriate for you, right? I don't use words like comfortable or anything because all that's relative as well. But I invite you to find yourself in a position where you can hold the space for comfort and discomfort, without either one of those becoming too much of a distraction for us as we move deeper into this practice. And to begin this kind of work, we have to form a really clear intention. So I invite you to really give birth to an intention. Why am I practicing? And maybe the same reason why you're here in this workshop today. And this isn't quite like having a goal or an objective or anything like that. It's more about, this is the thing that has driven me here to this moment. This intention has led me here. This is what I hope to deepen. And for me, my intention always with any practice is to reduce violence, to reduce harm, to experience clarity, to be of benefit to others. And I also invite you to reflect on who you're practicing for as well. And this is a space for us to really think about the ways in which we enact harm and violence on others around us. And we can say, you know what, I am practicing to alleviate the harm, to disrupt the harm that I enact, both consciously and unconsciously around in the lives of others around me. And you can name those folks as well, those groups or those communities. As we continue, so much of this practice is about kindness for ourselves. And I think for many of us, especially those of us who are in movement spaces who have been really working hard in the world to create equity and justice and accountability, we can be really hard on ourselves. There's a hardness, and that comes from the traumas that we accumulate every day doing the work. So in this moment, offering kindness to yourself by just allowing yourself to be in this moment. And whenever something difficult comes up, offering yourself the space and the choice to do something different, to take care of yourself, to take a break, you know, do some movement, think about something else. These are ways that we can take care of ourselves as we move deeper into this work. So this is kindness. And if you're able to, I encourage you to shift your attention to your heart center. And that's just the space right in the middle of your chest. And I invite you to begin to reflect on something or someone that you're grateful for. And I really get into this practice by thinking about all the ways that I am a recipient of both seen and unseen acts of kindness and labor from so many beings around me. That so many beings are helping me to experience whatever balance, well-being, and resourcefulness that I'm experiencing. They're responsible for that. And so I just want this energy of gratitude to awaken within my heart center. I wonder if this energy of gratitude can really begin to circulate throughout your experience of both mind and body. So it becomes this energy that feels as if it is taking care of us, an energy that feels like it is nurturing us. Can we just experience the energy of gratitude? Right? Because it's so easy to be ungrateful. It's so easy to get fixated on what isn't working well. But intentionally turning our minds back to the gratitude, back to the blessings, if I can say that, blessings. And we're trying to uncover these moments of liberation within our experience, these moments of spaciousness, these moments where we transcend the binary, like these moments where we transcend the anxiety and the worry and the fear. We shift our attention down to our seats now, noticing the weight of our bodies. We don't have to enter into the body in a way that feels uncomfortable or challenging for some of us, but we just acknowledge that we do have a body. There is a body here. And maybe for some of us, this is as much embodiment work that we'll be able to do right now or in the near future. And that's okay. Just to admit, yes, there's a body here. It is my body. I wonder if you can notice the sensations of just the weight of the body making contact with your seat. Can you allow that sensation to anchor your attention? And as it anchors your attention, I wonder if you can allow the sensation to really take care of you, to let it hold you, to let it draw you deeper, closer to the earth, to feel more stability, to feel more groundedness. Can we let go of the worry and the anxiety and the narratives and just plant our attention really in the heart of the sensation of sitting on the seat? Now I invite you to even shift our attention even lower, imagining that we're shifting our attention and touching down into the land, the earth under us. To touch the land means that we acknowledge the land, the earth, the land that we're practicing and living on. And as we touch the earth, we remember the narrative of the earth, the land that we're on now. We remember its ancestral indigenous name. We remember the communities of indigenous communities that took care of the land, who lived on this land well before colonization and settlers arrived. In a way, we can allow the land to be alive, to be conscious under us. As we're touching down into the land is touching us back. The land is holding us. The land is tending to us. Can you just let the land hold you and take care of you? Whenever we feel unsettled or disrupted or triggered, I wonder if we can return our attention back to the seat, to the earth, the land. Can we trust that we can be held by the seat and by the land under us? Ultimately, to get free, we have to learn how to trust. And trust just begins with beginning to examine just these small things that we can just have a little bit of conviction in. This conviction that says, you know what, this thing is going to take care of me. So let's begin with the seeds. Let's begin with the earth. This is our foundation. We begin to move deeper. And now I invite you to shift your attention into your mind. And we do that just by first beginning to notice thoughts, emotions. We can even name them. We can name the emotions that we're experiencing. And really, this is the beginning of our prophetic practice as well. It's like you can't figure out what's happening until you begin to name what's happening for you in your own experience. How am I? What am I experiencing? How do I feel? Can I tell myself the truth? How can we have prophetic vision for the world and for our communities if we can't do that work for ourselves? So I see these things in my mind and I name them. I name what I'm experiencing. I name what I'm feeling. And as I see and name everything, I wonder if I can just, in a way, own it, take responsibility for it because it is arising within my mind. And I can say, okay, there you are. You're happening in my mind. as we do this practice of owning the contents of our minds, I wonder if we can also notice and name all the other kinds of discomfort that arises, that comes out of just naming the things and owning the things that we're habitually always running away from. And I wonder if you can take another step and experience these emotions. What does it mean to experience? What does it mean to feel it? And if you have the capacity to do this, I invite you to just slowly, gently shift your attention into physical sensation, into the body, only if you're able to right now. And I invite you to begin to notice where these emotions may be rooted in the body. As Jasmine pointed out, in her talk, that how rage and anger show up as clenched teeth, a tight jaw. What are some of these really, this tough material in your mind show up for you in your body? And just notice it. And when you notice it, just let it be there. And you say, okay, there the sensation is. This where my anger is in my body. This where my anxiety is in my body. And you just experience it. What does it feel like? What is my tight jaw, my tight forehead, or tension in my shoulders and back? What does that feel like? And slowly we begin to notice that we're holding space. And holding space means that I am noticing, I am watching, but I'm not reacting. And when I'm not reacting, I am actually able to notice some level of spaciousness around the sensation itself. This is the root of embodied practice. Holding space for my body and letting my body tell me its story, its narrative. We can begin to shift our attention back into our minds. We return back to noticing this material in our minds. And at this point, I wonder if we can let go of this material that we've been focusing on. And again, letting go means that we begin to hold space, and that space begins to appear around this material. To let go and let this material be in our minds is also such an important expression of contemplative practice, just being with my mind as it is. And maybe we are struggling with certain things in our minds, with certain energies or emotions. Maybe we feel isolated or alone in some way. And perhaps part of the antidote to what we're experiencing is beginning to just briefly reflect on the fact, the reality that we are not alone, that we are amongst a community, a collective of countless beings who, in this very moment, like us, are struggling to be in a relationship with our minds. That we can actually collaborate, communicate with others across this experience of trying to be with our minds, trying to experience liberation from the suffering of our minds and our bodies. This contemplation, this work in this moment, this is the heart, the root of our collective practice. Tuning into the shared experiences of struggle that we all have across communities, identity locations, across beliefs. And now, if you can, I invite you to begin to imagine that your mind is like a wide open sunny sky. With no boundaries, no limits. It's wide, it's spacious, like gazing up at the sky and how it just seems to expand forever in all directions. That is your mind. And the light of the mind and the light of that sky is the energy, the dynamic quality and awareness of the mind. It's the light itself. So let that awareness in the mind, let that energy light the sky of the mind. But within that sky, there are clouds passing. They're not covering up the sky or the light, but just clouds passing through the sky. These clouds are your thoughts and your emotions. I wonder if you can just allow these clouds of thoughts and emotions just drift through the wide open, clear spaciousness of your sky. Just letting them float through. So letting go, letting everything float. Over time, from this practice, we begin to have visions and dreams of what freedom can be like, of what liberation can be like. So slowly, we begin transitioning out of our practice. And I invite you just to begin to shift your attention back down to the seat, to the earth. Again, letting these expressions ground our attention, let these sensations take care of us. Gently drawing our attention back to the earth, to something solid, something tangible. And we continue as we begin to transition even further out of the practice. We continue by offering appreciation first to the earth, thanking the earth for holding us. We also thank the seat for holding us and for caring for us. We thank our bodies for being a vessel for this practice. We thank our breath for supporting us as well. We thank our minds for having this expression of clarity and openness that some of us may call awakenness or wokefulness. We thank this virtual community that is gathered to practice together. And lastly, we thank ourselves for our practice, for our efforts to experience wokefulness. And we dedicate the energy, the movement, the positive, whatever we've accumulated today in this practice, out into the world, into the lives of others, wishing that they too can be free, just like our aspiration to be free. That we all may be free, and free particularly from oppression and suffering. And that we have everything that we need in order to be well. And so, even moving out of this, coming back into the space, awakening our bodies with a little bit of gentle movements. I always love to just bring my arms above my head and just stretch, reaching my tips, my fingers to the sky. And just doing whatever gentle movement is appropriate for you as well. But just gently awakening the body, getting energy moving again. You can also move through just a few deep cleansing breaths, which just simply means breathing deeply into the nose and breathing deeply out of the mouth, and doing that for about 3 times. And this is helping to just get energy flowing and moving again, to get us active again. Okay. And just shake it off. Shake it off, shimmy. Just awakening. And just brushing off whatever is stale and old, now outdated. Just brush it off. Brush it off. Okay. Thank you so much for your practice.